agree, people's time is important, so we're not wasting any time. We're jumping right in. Couple rules. Where this is going to be a town hall style as far as asking them questions which have been pre-submitted. If you want to ask any additional questions, there's some sheets of paper, or there's notepads on all the tables. You can even just jot them down on there. Let me know which person your question is for, and then we'll get them submitted to them. There's restrooms in the back, there's water, there's cookies. You guys should probably eat the cookies, or Cindy will probably like send them home with me or something. There's coffee. Yeah, if you have a cell phone, if you could turn that off. And then just for, kindness, everyone up front, you guys speak really clearly so that everyone in the back can hear and ask good questions. So, what else? Thanks for coming. Thank you for the Presbyterian Church for hosting and giving us a place to do this. It's kind of fun. I have never done anything like this before, but just to be clear for all of you, most of the people in this room probably know me. So I grew up here, couldn't wait to leave, came back to raise my kids. I'm Amber Buck, if you don't know. I am not a city dweller, so I'm not a voter in this race, to be clear. So I don't have a horse in the race, but what happens in Toledo matters a lot to me. So pretty invested in that way. Quiet in the peanut gallery when other people are talking, please. I do not want to have to police all these people that watch me grow up. I'll be super embarrassed. Don't make me do that. Let's see, what else?
We're recording.
Is it on already?
Yes.
No, we're recording it, so just letting everybody know we're recording.
Also,
Yeah.
being recorded, so if that's an issue for anybody, now would be the right time to let us know. All right, good answer. So, we did get quite a few questions that came in. As far as I'm aware, no one on the council has seen the questions that were submitted. It was done anonymously. Some are for specific positions, some are for more than one person, so we'll kind of just round robin as the questions come through and go from there. So, again, if you hear a question or an answer and you want to dig into that a little deeper, please make note to yourself so we can address that at the end. We're not going to do elevator speeches to start. We'll just go right into the questions, and then the candidates can address some things at the end if there's something they feel like maybe wasn't asked that they'd like to share about. So, just so I don't mess anything up about council member positions, I'll introduce. So, for mayor, we have Jake Morgan running and Cherie DeVore. And then for council seat number 5, we have Gary Reboin, Jamie Scalise. Am I saying that correctly?
Scalise.
Scalise, okay.
Used to be Scalise way back in the day.
I know Dr. Scalise, so that's my confusion. And then Rebecca Duerst is running for council seat number 3. I was like, where did Kathy go? I literally thought, where did you go? And Kathy Hill is running for council position number 4. So, do you guys have any questions before we start? Okay, I'm going to start on page 2. I will tell you guys, to be fair, most of the questions are for the mayor position. Sure. There's a lot of conversation around that, as you're well aware. So Jake, I'll start with you on this first question. What is the first action you'll take if elected?
We got to address the budget. That's probably the biggest thing, since the whole thing. We have a team of people that are already working on the budget really hard, and I think we are going to swear in the mayor-elect in December, and so they're going to have a head start, whoever wins on the budget, and that's basically all the city has to focus on, or the main thing, and then moving into the new year. Okay, and Cherie, same question. What is the first action you will take if elected?
Like Jake said, number one thing is going to be getting the budget, get everybody kind of on board, start looking to see where we can improve the ordinances and make sure everything is present and accounted for, and then hopefully start to get more of the town's support with the beginning of the year.
Okay, so speaking on that same topic, I'm actually going to go down the whole row with this question. It came in for the council positions originally for the race that is contested, and then it actually came in for the mayors as well, so I'd love to hear all of you answer this. What is your experience with budget planning? Kathy, I'm going to start with you.
Mainly through working through the school district as being a teacher with the association and many years. City budget has been new to me.
Okay.
So after 18 months, I have a little handle on it.
Sure. Jamie?
went through last year's budget process with the city. I also have over 30 years of full charge accounting experience and budgeting and office management.
Cherie?
I currently am the treasurer for the Toledo Neighbors Program. We just went through and did our budget. I also, when I was married into the military, I ran the budget for the Family Readiness Group as well. And I've got lots of years of accounting experience working for various businesses, and making sure that their accounts receivable and payable were all good and finding money where we needed it.
Okay, Rebecca?
I've done some basic bookkeeping since I was a teenager for my father's business, and coming up on 40 years with the company I'm with now, which is mostly right now is payroll, but I've helped with a lot of areas of accounting. I'm not an accountant, but I play with numbers a lot.
All right, Gary?
Hope this is a friendly crowd because most of my experiences were out at ADNA. AD at ADNA High School, had to deal with quite a few budgets. ASB advisor out there, dealt with budgets. In California, I was a private principal of a private school, had to deal with the budgets there. And then I had the honor a few years ago of being on the city council and working with the budget several years ago.
Jake?
I've got kind of a lot of experience in different ways. I used to cover city government as a journalist and covered the budget in Casper, Wyoming for a couple years. Then I worked in finance in New York City, and so I got to learn how all that works. And then I I've had my own business here in Toledo for 12 years, and I run all my own budget. I'm on the board of a bunch of nonprofits, and so I get to see the stuff. I'm a Lions Club, Toledo Lions Club, on board member. I was I'm still on the executive board. I was the president of the Lions Club for 2 years and secretary for 3 years. I'm on the board of the Cheese Days committee, and I do the magazine you guys saw. So mostly it's you get to see all the sponsor ads coming in, and then see all the ads coming and put it all together. And I'm also on the board of directors of Vision Toledo. We see the budget for that too. So been studying the Toledo city budget for months now, and comparing everything. I've also I've seen other government budgets, Napavine's budget and Winlock's budget and Vader's budget too. So, but not really the bigger cities than that.
Okay. I'm gonna bounce right back to you, Gary. As a previous council member, what would you do differently if you were elected from the last time you sat on council?
Well, I was appointed several years ago to the council, and I worked with some really hardworking, trusting people. And I feel that as a council person, we need to build that trust back up. We need to work as a unit. We need to support the mayor, whoever the mayor is going to be. We need to take care of our employees, and that would be a priority with me coming in.
So this is for both mayors. Jake, I'll start with you this time, since if you could caught Cherie first last time. What will you do to promote tourism in Toledo?
Good question. We have a great city park, and we have campgrounds through Firefly, and a growing website for that. There's Mount St. Helens, which is right next to us. I heard the Coldwater Creek Visitor Center is going to get a major upgrade, and that's right on just off of 505. That could be another way to get more people coming through. I think that we're missing out on the tourism, the grant funding that we get from the county, and that's the heads and beds. We don't really apply for that for the city. Where I think we have more of a chance now that we have a reservation thing on our website. That's pretty impressive. And but moving forward on that, trying to get the name of Toledo out there, and being friendly to everybody. Mostly, I think Cheese Days is probably one of the main things here. So the Cheese Days magazine is really a good face for the town, going for for everybody.
Okay, Cherie, same question. What would you do to promote tourism in Toledo?
I do feel that we really need to work with the areas that are around us, kind of see if we can collaborate with some of them, start drawing as much attention to Toledo as we can in a positive way. Try and see, especially in the summer months, if we can get some really good outdoor activities going on and promote those all throughout Lewis County to draw the crowds in. I think that'll be a huge part. Once people start to see what Toledo has to offer, I think we're gonna see a lot more people coming back, whether it just be for a day visit or if it be, you know, to camp at the park. But I do know that there are other things that are throughout the United States that can be brought in as well, that can connect to other states and other counties in our state.
Okay. Rebecca, I'm gonna pop over to you. You're a very recent council member. Thank you. How do you think you're impacting change for Toledo, and what are your goals for the next few years?
Yeah, I didn't expect to be in this seat till December or January, so it's been fascinating to jump right in. I'm learning a lot, and it's a lot more than just 2 meetings a month. But I am getting fascinated with the stuff that goes on. I'm happy to see the community get more involved and attend some of those meetings to find out exactly how it works, because I'm learning a lot. There's online training, which has come pretty easy because it's similar to stuff I do through the company I'm still working for. I've lived here 33 years, but I've come to visit when my grandparents lived here since I was a little girl. And Toledo hadn't changed a lot until the last year or 2 or 3, and there's bigger changes that are inevitably going to come. And I think we all would like to see Toledo keep its personality, but growth is inevitable. So I'm hoping I can help with that balance too.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into a question that kind of bounces right off of that. Who did I ask first last time, Jake? I'm gonna start with you, Cherie. I should probably make a note to myself. Sorry in advance if I don't bounce very well. How do you plan to combine old Toledo charm with new Toledo growth planning?
I really would like to focus on, I know that the growth that's coming, that is inevitable, will be up on the upper part of town. I would like to see us try and bring some old world charm to the buildings around here. And a lot of that's not gonna be easy to do. But if we can make it look a little more old school, start doing some of the things that are gonna bring people down here, I know that we're gonna see an influx of people, and it's gonna bring a lot of them downtown for their shopping. So if we can kind of give them a little old town feel, and then we'll have the upper part, and if they put more businesses up there, I would like to keep our core businesses where they're at, and then anything new that comes in, be on the upper part of town.
Okay, so Jake, same question. How do you plan to combine old Toledo charm with new Toledo growth planning?
We been working on it for years. We put up, we came up with banners that we put on the light poles going through 505. There's the mural on the water tower. There's lots of murals that bring people in. There's a steamboat theme and prevalent in several locations. There's historical markers and placards and stuff. And I think we're working with groups to get tribal funding to try to raise more education about Cowles Indians. And I think people come through and they see that history and they're really drawn to it. We've had a thing in the works for a long time to try to make a virtual walking map of Toledo. It's like a historical thing with QR codes, and we gotta build all the infrastructure first, but to have it send you to a web page that tells you about the history, when you're right on that spot, you'll be able to see that. So that kind of thing, it's a blend of the old and the new.
Okay, thank you. Kathy Hill, wet. You're looking at me like a teacher. What have you learned in your time on council, and has it changed your ideas about growth and revenue in small towns?
Well, it's nothing like being a music teacher or a piano teacher. I learned that, which is one of the reasons I was excited to get an appointment, something new. Growth is the big bugaboo, and all we can do is manage it. Our planning commission has been instrumental, along with the city planner consultant, with getting all of our building lots correctly done. The lot sizes, the grades, the street widths, and that's really necessary to manage. Working hand in hand with the planning commission has been eye-opening, and we just have to continue on. Lots to do.
Okay, I'm gonna go into council position number 5, Gary and Jamie. I'll start with Gary. What type of revenue streams do you suggest for the city as it grows?
Well, I think as a council, we need to get together and find out what our potential is. For instance, what do we do at Christmas time? What do we do at Thanksgiving time? What are we doing with Veterans Day? Are there opportunities we can seize to bring in tourists for an attraction that we have that we can have revenue? For instance, we have a beautiful park. Has everybody ever thought of lighting that up with some displays and having a walkthrough and charging people a simple fee? What does the city do for cheese days? And all my involvement, I don't think the city's done anything to raise money on cheese day, the city itself. So we just need to look at opportunities, and I think the new city council needs to sit down, and that's gotta be a meeting that we gotta talk about to decide what we're gonna do. What are the opportunities that we have, and where's the growth gonna be to?
Okay, so Jamie, same question to you. What type of revenue streams do you suggest for the city as it grows?
Well, we are looking into REIT 1 and REIT 2, that's real estate taxes. And those are handled separately, so they go to different things. We also need to consider, all right, I lost my thought train now. Because there was something else. We don't charge a city sales tax. And almost every city does, but we do not charge a city sales tax. The only tax that we get is what the state and county gives us, but we should have our own city sales tax.
Okay. So both mayors, Jake, I'll start with you. What are plans for sewer and water bill? Just keep going up. Growth in Toledo. How are we gonna have more room in our schools for more students, or already 4 kindergarten teachers this year?
Yeah, we're already growing growing pains. We have those impact fees that Jamie mentioned that pass the cost on to the new developers, so that gets extra money to pay for the infrastructure. But what was the first part of the?
What are your plans for sewer and water bills?
Sorry, water sewer bills. The more people you add to the system, that spreads the bill out over fewer people. So like in the school district, you add more homes, and then they spread that levy amount over all the homes, so everybody's taxes go down a little bit. It kind of goes the reverse if people move out, or if the economy tanks and property values go down, then the funding shrinks up and everything. But the sewer system is it's pretty new. It's like 8 years old or something. We expanded or we redid the lagoons, and it's a whole new system now. It's up to date, but it can handle some growth. But how are we going to connect more people to the city? And that's a really good question. I think we need to already start looking out for ways to get some state and federal funding to help boost that connection rate, like in a big project. And similar like to what we did with Toledo Tel when they did that big broadband expansion. I was part of that. I worked for Toledo Tel, and we got a federal grant to hook people up for 2 years. It was like the first 2 years are free, and here's a free computer you can keep. And if you don't like the internet and don't think it's useful after that, then you don't own anything. And everybody's like, wow, the internet's crazy, it changed your life, streaming video. then I can work and all that stuff, so it's, yeah, people don't wanna go back. I think when people, if we can provide top level water sewer, like clean, everything great, that people that live on the outside of town, that, in like Burkcrest, Millcrest, the area south of town, right on the edges, it's not in the city, they're just right outside of the line. Give them a real good incentive to join, like paying these hookup fees, one-time thing, so.
Okay.
Rambling on, but like,
I'm cutting you
if
off.
we get money from the state to pay for that, to help out Toledo.
Okay. So it's a multi-question, I'll read it again, so you've got it fresh, right? What are plans for sewer and water bill? They just keep going up, growth in Toledo. How are we gonna have more room in our schools for more students? There are already 4 kindergarten teachers this year. It's a lot.
It really is. I know that the water and sewer bills have been a pretty hot topic lately. They are outrageous, and I know that we have done a lot of work on the water sewer systems, and you know, that is something that consumers are gonna have to pay part of, but at some point it does need to be under control. It seems a little harsh that you'll have a house that has maybe 6 or 7 people in there, and they're paying the same amount for the water that they're using that a single family elderly woman is paying that amount too. And it just does not seem like that is a good idea. It's not fair across the board, so it is something that is gonna have to be looked into to find a way for us to have the money for the water and sewer system and be able to give the people that need a break that break. As far as the schools, that is definitely something that needs to be addressed. I know I had heard that they had picked up a couple new portables, which is a short-term solution. But as that growth comes in, we are gonna really have to look at the kids coming in and upgrading the elementary school and trying to make sure that we have enough room in all of our schools to be able to accommodate them and also not put everything back on the taxpayers. So there's gonna be a lot of looking to see where we can cut and looking to see what grants we can find and just trying to make it one of those even across the board so that not any major person gets impacted by it.
Okay. I keep thinking what I'm gonna ask next, and I lose my place. So this is for both of our position number 5 council members. What do you love about living in Toledo, and how is it different from where you grew up or have previously lived? And Jamie, I'll start with you.
Okay. I like the small town feel. I like that I have neighbors on every corner that I know who they are, and I know that I'm being looked after because everybody looks out for each other. It's actually not much different from what I grew up in. I grew up in Anaconda, Montana. It was a small town, and everybody knew everybody, so it's pretty much the same thing.
Side note, I was in Anaconda in August. My sister's moving there, so small town, small room.
Yeah.
Gary, what do you love about living in Toledo, and how is it different from where you grew up and have previously lived?
I love a small community, and I'm from a small community. When I was raised in Southern California, we had a small population, and everybody knew everybody. You walk down the street, everybody's helpful, and this is just a great community here, and everybody gets along, seems to get along, and if you need something, there's always somebody around that's gonna take care of you. And then when we moved from Southern California out to Adna, small farming community again, I've had the small community feeling all my life. I love it here. I'm glad we're here. We've been here about 12 years.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is for both mayors. I think I can just start with Jake. In what capacity, maybe answer this a little bit, so we'll try to kind of keep it short if you've already touched on some of it, but for both of you. In what capacity have you or do you currently serve the community of Toledo, and what impact is that making?
You want me to go first?
Yep, please.
Like I mentioned, I was on the board of these couple of nonprofits. Also, I'm the cemetery district number 7 commissioner for Lewis County, for the Toledo Cemetery. And I've been on the cemetery commission for about 4 years. 4 or 5 years and the chairman of the commission for like 2 years. And, so we just run the board meetings, and we have a secretary, and we have taxes we do for the cemetery. It's pretty boring stuff. It should be, I think, for the cemetery. I kind of like the bureaucracy. We have a mower. Yeah, that's what we do. I also, on a bunch of other stuff, with the, spaced out again. Sorry, what was the?
What capacity have you or do you currently serve the community of Toledo, and what impact are you making?
Yeah, I think the groups and the cheese days and the Lions Club and the cemetery, I forgot, I'm on the Civil Service Commission. Right. I got appointed to that in 2017, and then when we had police force with Winlock, and then that dissolved, and so they didn't really need a commission anymore, so.
Okay.
But if that comes back, then, yeah, you need to have more than 2 full-time police officers, I think, to have a civil service commission.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a whole lot to do. I got hired, I was one of the cops or something, and we didn't have much to do, but it was like, finding candidates for the police and interviewing them and doing background stuff and making sure everything's.
Okay. Moving on to Cherie, in what capacity have you or do you currently serve the community of Toledo, and what impact are you making?
Currently serving, I've been going to the council meetings, trying to be as active as possible in the town. I did have what I hope to be the first of many city barbecues, hopefully to get more people out next year so everybody can really get to know one another. I am currently on the board of the Toledo Neighbors Program. I do dedicate generally my Saturdays and Sundays out there, whether it be prep work, helping to do the distribution. We have really built a great relationship with the people who come up there. It's been amazing to see the people in the town who are totally trusting us now and asking questions and being open and not afraid that we're ever gonna judge them for anything. That has been one of the biggest impacts I think I've made since I moved back home.
Okay. I'm gonna bounce over to Rebecca again. I mean, you're new, so we're really gonna let you in. What do you hope to accomplish during your time on council?
Finish all the required training.
Yay!
I can see already, like I said, there's a lot to learn, a lot more to sitting on council than just 2 meetings a month. I know there's a lot of folks that have come to some of the meetings with issues that I've not been aware of, sort of sitting in my house all these years. So I hope to get more familiar with the whole town. And like I said before, find a way to balance making everybody happy on both sides. The businesses still need people to come in to have a business, but we don't want to feel overcrowded and big city-like either. So I'm hoping I can help in that area.
Okay. Jake, this is a interesting question. It's actually on here twice from 2 different people, so I'll just read both questions because they're very similar. I think it kind of comes to one answer. If you are elected, both you and your wife will hold positions on this council. Do you have a plan to alleviate real or perceived conflicts of interest that come with that? How do you plan to assure the citizens you won't discuss or reach mutual concurrence on city issues outside of public needs? The other question that came in, it could look unethical if your wife maintains a seat on council when you were mayor. What are your thoughts around this?
Yeah, we did discuss this already. Is it unethical for a mayor and a council member to be married? We looked at the RCW, and it is if the city is larger than 5,000 people. And so we're well below that, and legally I think we're in safe grounds. I regard myself as a pretty highly ethical person, and I try to always do the right thing, and it helps if I can remove myself from the problem and look at it objectively. Have that training as a journalist to see, well, what would be the right thing to do. You know, if it was somebody else, that kind of thing. We have to be really, clear about communication. I don't think that it is, I don't think it's right for me to tell my wife she has to resign her seat. And she doesn't wanna resign her seat. I think she's one of the best council members we have. She's really active and she does her homework and she gets training and she's passionate and she comes with questions and she really looks out for the city, I think. And so, wish we had more people like her. And I want all the city council members, whether I'm mayor or not, to take the training, to learn how to be better, and learn what all the rules are and what the rules are for the city. I think that there needs to be a better relationship between the mayor and the city council, and there was real problems with that in the last year. And I think I'm a pretty agreeable, reasonable person, and so I want to be able to communicate with all the city council members, not just my wife, but be able to feel like they could all talk to me if they had something like that. But she really would have my ear, you know, being living with me.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to position number 5, Gary and Jamie. So Gary, I'll start with you. How do you plan to support the city and impact change as a citizen if you are not elected?
If I'm not elected,
Correct.
I still plan on going to council meetings and would volunteer if there are openings like on the park board, or I served briefly on the planning commission before I was appointed to city council, but I plan on staying active, and I volunteer at the senior center on Cheese Days, my wife and I, this last time, so I'm just not gonna disappear.
I hope no one disappears.
Yeah.
No disappearing.
Yeah.
I hope you bounced away.
I'll second that.
Jamie, right? Jamie, how do you plan to support the city and impact change as a citizen if you are not elected?
Well, I still plan to volunteer to help out. For instance, I do spreadsheets and stuff like that, and they can always use help with that, so I have no problem with that. I would also like to look into the, what is it, the Heritage Society, or?
Historical.
Yeah, that one, thank you. And because I've done genealogy, and that is very interesting to me, so I'd like to look into that also.
Okay, thanks, you guys. Both mayors, people were not very, they look pretty harsh with their questions, you guys, just so you know. It's kind of uncomfortable for me almost. So Cherie, I'm gonna start with you, because I hit Jake first last time. Why should anyone vote for you when you couldn't fill out the most basic information in the voter pamphlet?
Yeah, that one, I was highly disappointed in myself when I saw it. This is my first run at an elected position. Definitely did not 100% understand the assignment on that one, which is why I did create the flyer, which will give you all the basic information. I do believe those are in the back there somewhere. But yeah, I was extremely disappointed in myself for not asking the questions, and that was a very quick learning experience for me, that you ask the questions. If you have even a second thought that you're not 100% sure on something, you need to be asking, so that you do not do like I did and mess it up.
Okay, Jake, same question. Why should anyone vote for you when you couldn't fill out the most basic information in the voter pamphlet?
I've lived here a long time and I've seen the voters pamphlet, and it typically is blank for everybody. It's blank, no information submitted. And so I was like, is it required? No, it's not required. And like, I wasn't really taking it that seriously in like July, when you had to turn in all that stuff, and I didn't have a website, I didn't have signs and everything. And the more that I think about it, that it's like a county-wide voters guide. It goes out to everybody. The only people that can vote for anyone at this table, you have to live in the city limits of Toledo. So do we really have to tell the entire county all of our personal stuff and our background? I can answer any of these things. where did I go to school? I went to Washington State University after Toledo and stuff. I've listed my nonprofits and stuff, and I put a thing on the website, and we're on Facebook, and we're having an open meeting, and I think that, it feels like, this is more Toledo than the voter's guide that goes out in the mail, so. I don't know if we'll fill it out next time. If everybody's gonna do it, then, yeah, I was surprised to see, we're like, you did it, and you did it, and you did it, and you did it.
Everybody
And I
who
was
did
like,
run for mayor did it. Give
yeah,
you
I'm
your
like,
vote.
whoa, guys. Then you look at PL and like nobody filled out for the whole town and like, who are these guys? Well, I don't live in PL, so.
Gotcha. So both mayors, another question, what is your leadership style? How does that work within your role as mayor? And have you previously held a management role, this is real specific, or been involved in the hiring process? So Jake, I'll start with you this time.
Mostly I've been my own boss. I was a senior editor in New York City for a financial thing. Most of my leadership has been in volunteer positions.
Okay.
So with the Lions Club and Vision Toledo and Cheese Days and stuff. Mostly that.
Cherie, same question, what is your leadership style and how does that work within your role as mayor? Have you previously held a management role or been involved in the hiring process?
So yes, I have held management roles in multiple different, facilities I've worked with. I actually just got promoted to one today as well.
Congratulations.
And so I have been involved in the hiring and the firing, as well as when you have to reprimand your employees, doing the write-ups, knowing what the rules are, make sure you follow all the policies at work. As far as the type of boss, or the type of training styles that I have and the way that I manage my people, I am very much hands-on. I also want any employee that works under me to be comfortable to come to me and say, hey, I have a question, I have a problem. I have no problem jumping in and helping where I need to. If elected into this position, I definitely will make it a mission to know how to do the basics, so that if something happens and our staff gets super sick and neither one of them can be there, somebody else can be there to at least answer the phones and take the payments, so that City Hall doesn't just have to come to a screeching halt. But I definitely work closely with my staff. I really feel that any input they give me is extremely important. Also in this position would be the same way with the citizens of this town. I really want everybody to have a voice. This is your guys' town. I'm just there to help guide it along.
Okay, I'm gonna read this question out. If you, either of you mayors for elect, feel like you wanna answer it, let me know, but I feel like we've answered this already. I just wanna make sure whoever submitted a question that I am reading it out to you guys in fairness. What preparation have they done, or what background do they think that they, let me start over. What preparation have they done, or what background do they have that they think gives them the qualities necessary to be a good mayor? So if you wanna speak anything else to that piece?
I think I've covered pretty much everything. I mean, I've got the background in the finance aspect of it. I really do engage, and I always have, with any of the patrons that have come into any of the places that I've worked, from the time I started working when I was 16 all the way up until now. I try to look at every single customer or patient that I have as family and build that relationship with them. That is the best way to bring trust.
Okay, so Jake, I'll read it again, because it was kind of convoluted, or I just can't read. What preparation have they done, or what background do they think do they have that they think gives them the qualities necessary to be a good mayor? I'm sorry, you guys, this one really stumbled me up.
Well, since we filed for election, both Cherie and I have been coming to almost every city council meeting. And I've also gone to other city council meetings since then, in Vader and Napavine and Winlock, and trying to get a sense of where those cities are. I've been poring over all those packets that are posted on the Toledo law.us website. I'm reading all the agenda packets and looking through the stuff and watching the videos and reading up on things. And I get quizzed on things often at home.
Okay. So here's another one for both mayors. What are your goals for voting in person?
In person. I think I actually have voted in a few different states, and I really like the absentee ballot thing. And if that's what you mean for election, but for city council, You have to have a quorum. Can they vote on the internet? Do they have to, you mean like a video conference?
I think this is specific to voting in general, if you would bring in-person voting to Toledo if you have goals in that direction.
Yeah, that's not really something the mayor can decide, I don't think.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just reading the questions.
Yeah,
I
but
don't make calls.
have it at the school and go to the school and everybody vote and stuff, but
Okay.
I prefer the absentee for the elected positions, but for the council, how should they vote? As long as it's open and they can meet and stuff, we have had people call in from meetings or do the video chat or whatever, and that works.
Okay.
Works good.
Cherie, same question, what are your goals for voting in person?
I do believe that it would be great to have both options. I know that we do have a lot of people who aren't, that don't wanna do it on either online or through the absentee ballots, but it's that personal touch, and that's a huge thing of what I like, is being able to go and you vote, and then you can talk to the people that are there. It's not just filling out something and dropping it in the mail. I would love to see it, and I know realistically it probably will not be something that'll happen, but it is something that I would like to see, just so that the community has more chances to come together.
Okay. So, we're getting down to you guys, good job, thanks for hanging with me. Both mayors, if elected, how do you plan to streamline the city departments? Cherie?
That'll be a fun one. I think getting together with all of the department heads is wonderful. I've had the chance to meet with pretty much all of them, and I love all of them, and I feel like they all work well together. But we do need to kind of come together and find ways that we can kind of find a way to fill in the gaps. There are a few gaps here and there that do need to be taken care of, and I think that will help make us a more efficient group and make things smoother overall in the city.
Okay, Jake, same question, if elected, how do you plan to streamline the city departments?
Upgrading the computers, new software can make it a lot more efficient for the workers, save time and stuff, get buying or budgeting the equipment to be maintained and replaced on a regular schedule, so you don't have things breaking down. That would improve efficiency, requiring or incentivizing training for all of the department heads, so that they stay up on everything, and giving them bonuses or whatever for being better at their job.
Okay, is there any other questions from the audience before we wrap up with the last couple here? Anybody else have anything?
I have a question. I've been in business for 43 years in this town, and I have yet to have a council member ever come in, introduce themselves, and ask them if I like how things are going. Most of the business people do not live in town. Therefore, we can't vote. But we can make an influence, because we have a lot of people coming to us, asking about you people. Who are you? What do you believe? What's going on? None of 43 years, unless they've been a client, to come into our stores. You don't come around. How do you know? You want to build the businesses, you want to create this and that. How do you know even where to start? Jake, I will say, he makes his rounds, and he probably is the most aware of what's going on, and nothing against you, Cherie. But you haven't gone around to the businesses, you haven't gone to introduce yourself, you're not in the pamphlet, you're new to our area.
Joan, I'm gonna cut you off because it's not a question,
Okay.
just to be
Oh, okay.
fair.
Why don't you come and visit us?
That's not a question.
And that definitely, and I will be out making my rounds as well, whether elected or not, because I do believe that, and I sat in on some of one of the chamber meetings, and the businesses are gonna be the core of the downtown. I mean, with the growth coming, all of these businesses are gonna see an influx in people, and their voices need to be heard, and we need to know what we can do to support them, so that they're not overwhelmed, and if there's anything that we can do to help them get a jump on this upcoming influx of people, that's what we wanna do. Whether I'm elected or not, that's still gonna be one of the things that I'm gonna be working on.
Okay. Anything else?
I do have a question, and I'm sorry I don't know your name, but as in Joan, I've only been in the business in Toledo for 32 years, but I'm curious, do you not think we have enough taxes on us now? You want to add another one?
Well,
Are you, just to be clear, are you directing that at Jamie?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know her name. but-
Okay.
Jamie, yeah.
I just wanna make sure I'm on the right track,
Yeah.
so basically to paraphrase the question, you know, you're talking about adding taxes to Toledo, what are your thoughts behind that?
well, we need revenue streams. The city cannot continue to run without having new revenue streams. And as I said, I've done the research, and nearly every city in Washington has a sales tax except for Toledo.
Can I follow up on that? Because I do agree.
As long as it's a clear question, I just wanna,
Just
we're not gonna do open
No, I'm
questions,
not, I'm just
so,
saying,
to be clear, don't pull
I
down.
understand what she's saying, but if you do that, I know Joan's done the same thing, I know her business town, we give a ton of money out to volunteer for different things, committees, people that want money, schools, I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars. That's gonna go away if you decide you wanna tax us more, so now you're losing all that money.
So
I'm
again,
just throwing it out so you understand.
is it a question?
That's part of it,
Okay,
end of my question.
alright, end of the question, alright. Wanna wrap it, anybody else have anything? I have a couple of final things, I'm gonna bring it back to each
Can
of
I
the
ask one
council
more
members.
question?
Is it a question?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It's for the two mayors. I think some of you know I used to be the mayor, so I can ask this question. And I've watched what's gone on lately with the city council. As the mayor, you are in charge of your departments. Are you gonna be tough enough to tell the city council to stay out of your business and do your business? Or are you gonna let them come into City Hall and create problems?
so I'm gonna paraphrase that, we'll start with Jake, because it's your turn to go first. So as mayor, how do you plan to manage the city without the city council swaying your management style?
I think there was a leadership vacuum in the last year when the mayor his health region, and people are trying to get things done. And so there's the urge that there's work that has to be done, I can help. But there's also a process to everything, and it might be, crossing the line to have volunteers be doing the paid work of, doing work with paid employees and stuff. I think that we need to reestablish, the roles of the mayor and the city council. They're well defined in the RCWs. The mayor, Cherie said, the mayor's the boss of the city employees. The mayor does not set policy for the town. That's the city council's job. The city council doesn't come in and say, you guys need to pick up this branch and you need to pull the weeds over there and I don't like this, and that's not their job to direct city staff. But if they have anything, they come to the mayor and the mayor puts it on. So if you read through all the guides, you go to the mayor and the mayor takes care of it.
Okay.
And I will have my employees back. I want to create a really healthy, positive work environment, not some weird toxic thing where you walk into City Hall and you're like, whoa, what's going on in here? Everything suddenly gets quiet and you're like, whoa.
Okay, Cherie, same question?
I definitely agree with you. If elected, I will be working from City Hall during business hours when the staff's there. I also have no problem if we do have people that are coming in and either harassing them, or if we have, disgruntled people coming in that are just being absolutely horrible to them, I have no problem intervening. I do believe that, they need to get their work done, and like Jake said, the mayor is in charge of the city staff. And I will be working closely with the council members, so I don't know that would be something that they would feel the need to be in there. Their voice would still be heard.
Okay. So we have kind of a consolidated couple of questions, and
I got a question. Mayors, as a executive person in your body, how would you guide your council members to ensure that they're not putting the city of Toledo in a point of jeopardy with derogatory comments about contractors and other people that might be able to sue for libel and other actions through their comments on social media to ensure that doesn't happen?
So to paraphrase, how would you how would you work with the council in an issue that could create conflict for the city of Toledo?
I know that is something with social media, it's gonna be out there. You really just have to work closely with your council, let them know what the expectations are, let them know what will not be tolerated. And if something is seen like that, it needs to be brought to the mayor or to the council, it needs to be rectified. That's not something, nobody should be bad mouthing any of the contractors or, you know, even the state, if they come through and they do something that we don't like, you can't badmouth them, you do have to work your way through the channels to get it corrected in the right way. We don't wanna do anything that's gonna make Toledo look bad, and so that they need to be mindful of what they're saying. And I'm sure that we do need to create some ordinances and some policies about what can and cannot be, done online from the council members and the mayor.
So Jake, same question?
Yeah, we need to, like Cherie said, have expectations. I think when you are elected to public office, people hold you up to a higher standard.
Sure.
And if you are going to exercise your right to freedom of speech, understand that you have to distinguish your views from the council's views. And so if the newspaper reporter calls and asks a council member, what do you think about this thing the city's doing? They should say, well, we're still deliberating that, and we're having a public meeting, and you can talk to the mayor if you need an official thing. But if you wanna know my opinion, I don't speak for the council on this, but here's my opinion, I don't think you should do it because of this and this and this.
Okay.
So if you make it really clear, this is my opinion, not the city council's or the mayor's or the city of Toledo or something, that can kind of protect you a little bit.
Okay.
But up to a point, because
Okay.
you're still like, they still know. Yeah,
Okay.
like,
So this, I'm just gonna roll these questions actually both came in for the mayor, but I'd just like to give all of you guys the opportunity to answer these. I'm gonna combine them as one question, and we'll go from the council members who are not running opposed first, and then we'll go to the other council members and finish with the mayor. Okay? So, why should I vote for you? Because I've lived here a long time and I care about my community. And what do you want people to know about you in 30 seconds or less? Go.
Vote for me, because I do care about my community, and I've been here for 50 years, and have personal connections with many different generations.
Okay?
Vote for me.
All right, Jamie?
Okay. I'm gonna be the council member who asks the tough questions. Some people already know my reputation. And so, even if I agree with something that's on board, that's on the table, I'm still gonna ask the tough questions because maybe somebody else didn't look at that. And I wanna make sure that everybody is aware of what the repercussions could be, what the benefits could be. And so I'm gonna continue to ask tough questions. I'm also going to support anything that is gonna be for the betterment of the city, as long as it's legal.
Fair.
If it's not legal, I'm going to oppose it. I am fairly new in town. I've been here, I don't know, 3-4 years now. So, but I've lived in small towns and I know what it's like to live in small towns. And I enjoy it here. And I want this town to thrive, so
Okay.
that's why you should vote for me.
Generous 30 seconds. Rebecca?
I was really reluctant to even sign up, so if somebody wants to write in, I'll be happy to withdraw. I was encouraged by some friends in town and felt civic duty. I thought I would be able to manage the time, and I will find a way to do it. Once I say I'll do something, I'm a loyal, dedicated person, so I intend to do the best job I can anyway.
Gary?
Well, I was on the council for almost 2 years. I thoroughly enjoyed working with the members of the city council. We worked hard, we trusted one another, we respected the mayor's position, and we knew the mayor was the boss in charge of the employees. We supported our employees, and that's what you'll get from me.
Okay, Jake?
Grew up in Toledo. I painted the large mural on the wall on the way into town for my Eagle Scout project when I turned 16. Then I got a job. My first job was with the city of Toledo in the public works department, helping out the crew, mowing lawns and everything. Really got me going into things and public policy and excited about the city. And it's weird coming back from living away and coming back and seeing Michelle Whitten still at the city. We're like, she was there when I was there. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. We've had people, we've been blessed to have people like Cherie serve for so long, and Steve and a lot of the city council members. It really feels like community, and I feel like I like being a part of it.
Okay, Cherie?
Can you repeat the question?
Both of them? I already marked it up, so I can look back. Sorry. What do you want people to know about you in 30 seconds or less? Why should I vote for you? Because I've lived here a long time and care. Besides, I have lived here a long time and care about the community.
I do feel like I possess the qualities needed as a leader to jump in. I have taken a lot of the businesses that I've worked for that have been in a really bad state and was able to turn them around and make them very lucrative businesses before moving on to the next one. I am very dedicated, so if elected, that's one of those things where I give 110%, whether that means 80 hours a week or if it means 20 hours a week. The town will get 100% of what I have to offer.
Okay? So I would like to just open up to you guys briefly. If you feel like there's a question you had hoped would be asked, if it wasn't asked, that would be an opportunity for you to speak to that. Kathy, you got anything?
No.
Jamie? No? Sure?
Not that I can think of.
Becker? Cherie? Jake?
Applaud everybody for doing your civic duty, trying out here. This is great.
Yes?
Go America.
Thanks. I don't know what everyone else's plans are. I imagine they're available to you if you have questions after and want to hang out for a couple minutes. They're all pretty good about making themselves available. But yeah, thanks you guys for coming. Thanks for making me ask some hard questions and awkward questions, which is actually how we get better. And I hope that if you're not living in the city of Toledo, that you're talking to everyone you know who does live in the city of Toledo, because it is really critical that people vote. That is our voice. Our vote is our voice. So please utilize that.
Amber, we'd like to say we really appreciate your job, and we really appreciate the fact that we were able to have this.
Yeah.
And the real frustrating thing is to see people elected and wonder how. And the fact of the matter is that this is a great start, and I hope we start earlier, have multiple times in future elections. But thank you very much for your part tonight.
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to do it. Thanks, guys. Jamie has one more thing, guys. Anyone who's been in a council meeting will be surprised by that.
I would like to encourage anybody present here to come to future council meetings.
Yeah.
Find out what's going on, ask the questions that you need to ask, and provide the input you need to input.
Yeah. They're public, they're available, and so are the planning commission meetings, budget workshops. There's a lot of opportunities to become more educated about the town of Toledo, whether you live in city limits or not. So you should be really utilizing those opportunities if you can. I would agree, yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't know how to turn off your